national anthem. Is that our problem?
All right, gentlemen, let's look into another matter that is eating into the heart of, Kano in northwest Nigeria. 2 emirs and conflicting court orders have put Kano, the commercial capital of northern Nigeria, on edge. The battle for the royal stool between Muhammadu Sanusi II and Aminu Bayero has sparked reactions and protests from their respective supporters. Conflicting interim injunctions by 2 courts in Kano on the Emirship tussle has attracted the attention of the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Olukayode Ariwoola. Justice Ariwoola has summoned the Chief Judge of the state and the Judge of the Federal High Court for explanation. Meanwhile, the President of the Nigerian Bar Association, Yakubu Maikyau, said lawyers and judges involved in the matter have brought shame to the legal profession. Jide, what's your position?
You know, we've been talking about this for days. I actually expected Maikyau to have issued a statement before now, because the NBA promised us that in matters like this, we will hear from them. But, well, we can say his reaction has come a bit late, but it makes sense all the same. Politicians came between 2 gentlemen who were raised under the same roof.
Cousins.
Their parents shared the same father. And it was the lot of Emir Bayero, father of Aminu Bayero, to raise both Sanusi, known as SLS at that time, and then after he became Emir, adopted
Muhammadu
Sanusi in honor of his grandfather. They were raised under the same roof, as I said. It was Bayero that brought them up. Sanusi married Aminu Bayero's younger sister. So you can see that these people, this is the way they are. And crucially, when the kingmakers in Kano appointed Sanusi Bayero as Emir back then, Sanusi went quickly on Twitter to congratulate him, only for politicians to summon the kingmakers and had that name changed to Sanusi. It was politics that was being played. They wanted to spite Goodluck Jonathan. Not that Kwankwaso was chummy with Sanusi, Sanusi. No. In fact, he had requested that UBA should sack him.
Yes.
Because he criticized him, to punish him for criticizing. He said he would take the state's funds, he will withdraw the state funds from UBA. That is by the way. Nigerians need to know history. When they know history, they will know how we got to where we are. So the point that I'm making is that those politicians in Kano, it's not as if they like Sanusi. They just wanted to get at Ganduje. Ganduje has been their target. Over the past few months, there have been court matters involving Ganduje, with people claiming to be members of his party. When those people were invited to the secretary of the party, they discovered that they were not the real people. They were impostors. And when Ganduje's party tried to get the police to investigate the matter and have those guys arrested for impersonation, some people believed to be the NNPP people in Kano got an injunction that those guys should not be arrested. What is your own? People impersonated other people, real members of a party. Like the guy who claimed that he was the legal advisor of the party in the ward. He actually impersonated a different person. And you now got an injunction to stop the police, the IG, from arresting them. When people commit a crime, are they not meant to be arrested? Let them come and tell the story. We know that those court cases emanated from within the NNPP. Their goal is to kick, they still have their eyes on APC, they want to come back. Their goal is to kick Ganduje out of the chairmanship of the party so that they can return to the party and they will be happy. Because as long as Ganduje is there, they know that they cannot come in. This is the truth. None of the people concerned can hold a Quran and say this that Ajide is lying. I know that it is the truth. Now, look at the way they politicized this whole traditional
Emirship.
Yes, in Kano. They've come between brothers and succeeded in bifurcating them. This is what is happening. And now politicians also use the judiciary in a manner that puts the judiciary to shame. There was an injunction. And the Bayero, Aminu Bayero has every reason to challenge what has happened to him. There was no public hearing. If you want to repeal a law like that, there ought to be a public hearing. There was no public hearing. The Emir never got a query. Nobody said anything. The next thing, you just removed him. And the man felt his rights had been abridged. He approached the courts. The court gave an injunction. It was supposed to sit on June 3rd. The governor of Kano rushed to install the Sanusi as Emir. He should have obeyed that order. I've said it repeatedly that politicians don't have the right to obey the courts only when they like or where it favors them. He then went on saying, that the judge who gave that order was not in Nigeria. By the rules of the court, the Federal High Court, even the NJC guidelines, a judge can give an order through virtual means. There is no law that says that the judge must be sitting in his court to give an order. Even that same Justice Liman sentenced a well-known plastic surgeon here in Lagos. Virtually, it was virtually that he gave that order. The law permits a judge who is attending a conference. If a matter is brought before his court, he can hear that summon motion electronically and give his order.
All right.
So the judge, the governor was misled to think that it is so that a judge cannot give a judgment unless he's sitting in his court. Even during the COVID era, a lot of judgments were given virtually.
And there were also some allegations, that came up, which the state government later came up to apologize for.
Yes, when they said it was Ribadu that provided jets and all that.
To bring the Emir.
My position on it is that, like I said, it's all politics. Everybody knows it's politics. When Sanusi was removed 4 years ago, what they accused him of was insubordination. And they did a law and removed him. Sanusi did not contest it, did not quarrel. What he did, when he went to court was when, after he was removed, he was banished. And he went to court to say, look, you cannot banish him. And the court said, yes, he has rights. Even if he's no longer the Emir, he has the right to move around, to be anywhere in Nigeria. My problem with this present one is that the Nigerian judiciary every day keep making mess of themselves, because all these orders that they are giving shows that a politician can just approach a court and purchase any order that he wants. In fact, it's becoming ridiculous that different courts is giving different orders. There was a court that says, Bayero should vacate Nasarawa Palace. You understand? And not parade himself. Another one has also issued an order saying that Sanusi should leave the main palace.
The judge
that is ridiculous. My own problem is that whether the law is good or not, the law is the law. If the assembly, Kano assembly, if they repeal a law, yes, it's debatable whether all the processes were followed. But if they sit and they repeal a law and the governor assent to it, it is the law. Whether we like the law or not, that is the law. And the only way you can change it, the way we are going now, I can make a prediction. It will take some time. Court will make pronouncements. But Sanusi will remain the emir. Because there is a law saying so. And chieftaincy is a state matter, not a federal matter. So ultimately, when they go back to court, it is what the state says they want that will prevail. So what I would suggest, because I know it is politics, the best thing they can do, because of the law that has been signed, the only thing APC or whoever is not in support of what is happening now, they wait till 2027, convince the people to vote for them. So that when they come back to power, they can repeat the law and do another law.
But then this is...
But until that time, that is the law. We may not like it. It may look bad. For example, when Sanusi was removed, it could be argued that, oh, what is insubordination? Insubordination to who? You understand?
Oh, they tried him for corruption.
Yeah, yes, but the letter that the SSG said was that he was removed for insubordination. So, but my problem is that when the state makes a law, it is a law.
It is a traditional ruler is a staff of the government. In fact, you are under the local government.
Government, yes.
So a traditional ruler must not disrespect his governor.
Yes.
If you try it, you will go. It just happens to be lucky. The emir of Gwandu, Mustafa Jokolo, was removed by...
yes.
It was removed by Senator Bayero now when he was governor. And nothing happened. The heavens did not fall. You know? So it's not even military alone that can remove... civilian governments remove emirs.
Oh, a lot.
So, Olowo was removed.
Alafin was removed.
And it took many years before Olowo regained his too.
So what strengths and influence?
You see, the thing is, my own quarrel, people have issues with the law. Because they were in a hurry, they made a lot of mistakes. They made a lot of mistakes. That's so-called repealing that they are talking about. What Ganduje did was to amend the 1984 law. He amended the 1984 law. You come now to say you are repealing. If you repeal, with what law did you now bring in this person? There are things that lawyers will say. And
so it ought to be another amendment.
And you see, if the courts make the point that the emir was removed unfairly, the decision of the court supersede whatever the governor does. We've seen courts give such verdicts. The emir will return to his palace. That is what they are worried about now. But for me, this can be resolved in a peaceful manner. That was why I suggested yesterday that I don't even want the courts to decide this matter. This governor made a mistake. He should have... When there is an order of the court that you don't want, that does not favor you, you take your time. You find a way to vacate that order. Abure as Labour president, there was a time that Papa was parading himself as the moment the appeal court vacated the order of the lower court that suspended Abure. Have you seen Papa do all those interviews that I was doing? Calling himself chairman. Have you seen him do that? Because he knows that the appeal court is superior. In this case now, what they've done to themselves, those courts, they are trying to give concurrent orders. You are courts of coordinate jurisdiction, you are giving concurrent orders. None of those orders will be obeyed. And as long as it doesn't even make sense to evict any of them, anybody thinking that the thing to do is to evict either of those emirs is playing with bloodshed because they have support.
And we've seen protesters, on the streets. But now the governor has banned protests in the state, in the
democracy.
Yes.
You are saying people will not protest in the democracy.
Is it because it could get out of hand?
You cannot tell people not to protest.
But he's made that proclamation now.
No, for security reasons, you can't.
To avert breakdown of law and
order.
But for now, those guys nobody has been killed in this matter. Nobody Or those guys
to
are not,
prevent
we should not allow that.
escalation.
We should not allow that to happen.
they've not been violent.
No, they've not been. They've not been violent because there's not really. There's no the protest that we have is just a minor protest. It's not like the kind of protest we used to see in Kano.
No, in Kano.
But I agree.
when they
I agree that the best way to
Sanusi,
solve this
people died.
problem. I agree that the best way to solve this problem is for the status quo now, not status quo before, status quo now, to be maintained, which means that Emirs Bayero will be in Nasarawa Palace, Sanusi will be in Main Palace.
Both of them receiving guests.
No, both of them will be like that. Right now,
That's not status quo.
right now,
The IG was given an order. And that's where they made a mistake. I said they made
to obey the order of
the IG.
even
in
but,
that order.
but do you know that the order of that court
Injunction.
came after the proclamation?
Because the proclamation was wrong.
No, you cannot. If the governor proclaims somebody as emir,
Yes.
whether wrong or right, you can only go to court to go and confirm whether that proclamation is wrong. But the order that they got from that judge was after the act has been done. That's their own argument
And
now.
if it's an illegal act, it
The
can
act
be challenged.
has been done.
But now the NJC
that's what I'm saying. It
accepts-
can be challenged, but you cannot
What the judge
say that they
says-
should refer to status quo because
No.
already a new emir has been installed.
If a new emir was installed illegally,
Who determines whether it is illegal or not?
The
The
legality
state.
of
Who is in
the-
charge? No, but the state that is in charge.
No, stop saying
Is it-
state is in charge.
but is the state in charge
They
of
are not-
providing
They can
affairs?
make mistakes
Yes, they
in
can.
doing that. And if they make a mistake, even in installing the person, it is the courts who can resolve
Of course, the court
it.
can say that.
And somebody says, look, I didn't get any query. I don't believe that I've done anything wrong to deserve being kicked out of office. And the court reserves the right to say, okay, we will listen to you.
I agree.
That is what the court has done. And
It
the
has
court
done,
said,
yes.
by June 3rd, for now,
It's just 4 days.
no, at that time he had not entered the palace. The moment they saw that he was coming from Abuja to Kano, they quickly rushed Sanusi into the palace. They were rushing all of those things. It was in the night they quickly...
Because it is politics.
because they felt that this guy...
But that's how politics is played. You know that this thing is between, like you said, Ganduje was the target. Sanusi is just lucky. It is Ganduje himself is the target. If you notice that,
Sanusi is not their friend. They just
that's what I'm saying. Ganduje is just lucky that, okay, we don't want anything that Ganduje has done.
we are
You know, even the
removing his
campaign,
legacy.
they said, look, if we get power, we are going to resolve
No, they've been saying it.
They
I'm
said
not
so.
surprised.
They said so.
So it
in fairness to them.
shouldn't come as a surprise to...
Yes, they said so.
No, but you must follow the law.
But now the NJC is stepping in, has invited the federal judge of the Federal High Court. and
Even
the
then,
judge of
it's
Kano State.
It's too
late
late.
already. What can happen now?
It's for us to wait for that June 3rd.
Whether that judge will vacate the injunction. You know, now and then a superior court. A superior court can say, oh, that injunction that you gave makes no sense. The way it is now, they've cancelled themselves out.
Yeah.
So, and the appeal court can give an order that will rubbish all that has happened and may
Yes.
favor one person,
Yeah.
one of the two of them, and that is what the security agencies will obey. For now, that lower court gave the IG an order to protect that person and ensure that his order is carried out. That's why the CP said, look, we are obeying the law. We were told to enforce this order. And that's what we are doing. So the way it is now, Sanusi may be occupying that palace. It's not officially an emir for now. It's just a proclamation by the
governor.
By the governor. It's not officially the emir of Kano. Invariably, that will be sorted out in a peaceful manner. I'm confident.
That peaceful...
Yes,
that
they will-
is important.
somebody will be spoken to, and that person will leave the palace by himself. Nobody should be thinking of using force to evict any of those.
No, they won't. They won't do that. They won't use
All
force,
right.
of course. Nobody will use force.
Indeed, we need to get to the end of the matter.